Hello, this is Castle of Castle Does, and I'm here to bring you part 2 of the making of Canyon of the Dead for No Rest for the Living. And if you missed part 1, it's like over here if you just gotta click on, let's see. There you go. And that's it. Let's dig in, man. Okay, so we left off right here where the haphazard, helpless hero was hoarding, but he could not hoard anymore. I want to go over something really quick. At this point in time, there was a detail that I left out in the last video. See this pillar right here? And I'm going to go into a little bit more about what's going on over here, but in direct line of sight of that pillar is the key. And it was actually an intentional design to hide the key, to make it a little bit more obscure, because I didn't want players to come up here and see the key as easily and wander off trying to jump into the slime from this angle. It's sort of awkward, and that's one of the reasons why I put that in there. So anyway, let's get back to where the player is, and I'm going to go fight another damn Mancubus. In a world filled with Mancubi. Mancubi. Yeah, I call them Mancubi. I think that's the correct terminology. I never really heard if it was or not. I don't know. I guess we'll find out someday. Maybe somebody will correct me. Oh god, he's burning the entire area. It's all on fire. It's all on fire. Oh god, oh god, ah! Alright. So, placing health in open spots that are easily visible from lots of different angles is a pretty good thing to do. If I could just get around this damn Mancubus. They don't usually end up being this much of a hassle. This is pretty crazy. Alright, so he's down. And since I didn't come out in this direction in the first place, you run into a hell of a lot of imps. Oh my god, they're everywhere. Ah, all on the ledges. That was like map 29 in Doom 2. Kind of had that whole vibe going on where it's just like ledges and shit everywhere on the ledges. Alright, so at this point, I want to go over something that's really cool about this secret up there. So something that I've been doing constantly, and once again reaffirming this, is to make sure that secrets are visible where you are hanging a carrot in front of the player's eyes. And this is true for the Soul Sphere over here, where the Soul Sphere is always in view, as well as a computer map, which is placed in a situation where you can always see it no matter where you are up here, as long as you're looking. These types of things cause the player to want to see if they can figure out how to get to it. Right here as well. It's always visible. I have an imp that's placed up here, and the imp is always going to be throwing a firewall at you. The player will always turn and look and see. And if you look right here, not only is there something that looks kind of like a switch, but you'll also see health files. Items and places will immediately convey to the player, hey, I can get there. I want to be there. That's part of being badass. I want to be cool. So right there you get to see a computer map, which is a secret that I don't get until way later in the level during my playtest, but there you go. And as during the playtest, I kind of end up playing the level a little bit more haphazardly than I probably should have. But that's one of the things that's neat about this level, is that it's designed in such a way where people can do things sort of in weird orders and things like that. Okay, so here's something that I'm going to explain in much greater depth. So one of the greatest challenges in open-ended level design like Doom is making sure that the player doesn't feel lost or starts wandering around aimlessly. This level is designed in such a way where even though it's open, this section right here, no matter if you decide to go up this way and jump down, this section right here, you're eventually going to go through it. If you go through here and if you drop down, no matter how you approach the level, ultimately, if you continue moving to places that you haven't explored yet, you're going to go through this choke point. You can't go any other way. That's why there's a big wall here. It prevents you from going any other way. So ultimately, you're going to come through here, and when I want you to, not too early, you're going to see that there's a key up on a ledge and a door that requires the same exact key. And in fact, that's why it's not a key card, it's a skull key. It makes sense on multiple layers. When you look through this door, you see again skull key, and there's a switch, and through the hole is the bridge that you saw earlier. Now, if you remember anything when you saw the bridge, you're like, how do I open this up? Well, there you go. So, also, I didn't want the player to see this too early. I mentioned that before. I want you, the player, to come to this spot right here. Notice that this isn't using the same texture. Well, the green brick used to be used here, but it's not being used there anymore. And the reason for that is that I wanted it to stand out all the more. When I originally designed this, it wasn't even on a pedestal. It was just sort of sitting over here. And when it was sitting over here, nobody really saw it. In fact, it's actually kind of invisible. Even if I had it up just sitting on this ledge, people didn't really see it. So what I ended up doing was I made it look like the key is sort of corrupting the area with its lava and mixing in with the slime and being all cool so people see it. Right? There you are. This central point right here, this choke point says bada bing, bada boom, bada kaboom. Right there. All the way through the entire level. You know the whole entire gist of this entire outside area now. It all comes together right here and is conveyed. How? I need to do that, to do this, do that. Okay, so now I have a pretty damn good idea of what I need to be doing. It's time to figure out how to get to that key. Of course, there's also a lot of weird random exploration. There's another thing that a player is going to do sometimes, is they'll see if there's rockets over there and be like, hey. And this could be done completely out of order. I might go and get the key, or might run for the rockets, sort of looking through the doorway. Okay, that's definitely got to be how this works. Let me see. Oh, there's a suit over here. I can use that to get to the rocket launcher. See, I'm doing things kind of out of order, like maybe a player might do. Man, that's pretty crazy, weird looking lava slime. Now, if you peek over, whenever you get the rocket launcher, pow, look at that. There's a tiny little bit of teleporter. Standing exactly where you would be looking if you were to turn around after picking up the rocket launcher from its exact spot. So if you do sort of a 180 and you look back this way, you may notice this. And you may recognize it as being a teleporter. A lot of people will. Teleporter takes you to a secret area up here. And one of the things that's neat about the secret area, and there's a couple of really crazy little details about it, is that there's a switch up here. It's overlooking everything. You know that it's a spot that you've seen before, maybe. If you shot the imp, if the imp was annoying enough to be shot in the first place. Hopefully he was, because that plays into my plan. You flip the switch, and I had a lot of difficulty with a lot of players who did not realize that this switch raises this staircase up. So when the staircase actually was brown, it was using the same texture as before. It was even harder to see. A lot of people would flip the switch and they wouldn't even know what's going on. A lot of people would flip the switch and they would look the other way. So there's this weird nib right here. You see this? That was put there to sort of blind, sort of horse blinders for the player to, okay, I'm going to end up looking this way because I can't really look this way. Right? So to make this staircase raising as obvious as possible, I put these two entity detail thingies, and what they do is they reinforce, not only is it a weird texture that's raising, but now you're watching these two entities raise up. Now on top of that, if you inch over to the corner and you look this way, you're going to see that there's a blue armor hidden all the way up here. So right away, one of the things that is kind of obvious at this point in time is that black metal difficulty and Brutal Doom will make that area up there pretty hectic. I didn't immediately go for the secret because I'm purposely playing things out of order, doing weird stuff. There's a double barrel shotgun here. Originally this was supposed to be, this is the first time you get the double barrel shotgun if you don't find every secret. There's only double barrel shotguns up until this point if you find secrets. It's a little bit easier on the second level and it's super hard in the first level. But this is the first time you actually get one. I have sort of multiple paths. I lined that path with health vials so that you'd go up that way if you wanted to, but then there's also a lift so you can go multiple ways. A lot of this level is supposed to be, you know, exploration. I wanted it to the player to kind of wander the level and look for stuff. So right here we have the key is sitting up on the ledge. You know exactly where you need to go once you get the key. I put one armor helmet sort of close to the wall to kind of do this. Now this is actually something that if I had a chance to, I would change. You know, it doesn't really quite make that much sense for me to put the Berserker pack there. I think that was actually a mistake. If I had it all to go back again, I would change that. Put the Berserker pack where the computer map is, and maybe put the computer map where the Berserker pack is. And here we go. Should I get the secret? I'm wandering around. Hey, you can kind of see that there's something over there. Man, in Brutal Doom, they just fire like repeatedly. It's awesome. Okay, so I remind myself that there is a staircase that just raised up, and okay. I go up here. Check this out. Boom, blue armor. Go around the other way. Kind of take a look at things. All right. So here goes. Opening up. This. Flip the switch, you see it in front of you once again. Every single time you flip the switch so far in No Rest for the Living, you knew what it did. Can't reinforce it enough. Every single time. And now for the creepy walk across the bridge with flame that's going way too fast for fire. Fire's not that fast in real life, what the fuck? Anyway. I like hiding armor helmets in corners. I know that the player would usually check out that corner too, and I didn't want to put armor helmets over there because it ends up feeling kind of redundant, like work. Anyway, this area ends up becoming basically a giant fight, but in Brutal Doom it just becomes an imp death. Oh my, they're all on fire and dying, and that bridge is on fire now too. Like, everything's on fire and dying. Okay. Oh, burning to death over there. Now, a theme about this is once you get to the base, once you're into the castle, is that you're moving up. You're moving in a way that makes it feel as though you're climbing it. So at this point, I'm looking up the staircase, and I decide, okay, I know there's going to be nothing but shit and hell up there, and it's probably close to the end of the map because I've been playing for a little while. I probably haven't found all the secrets. So skipping ahead in my random secret searchingness, I'm already know exactly which secret I didn't find, and it was the one that I saw earlier with the computer map on the ledge. And Brutal Doom giving me a little nice gift of rip and tear. It's a pretty good thing to have. Okay, I'm pretty happy with this. I think at this point in time, I'm ready for the end of the map. I know that there's stuff going on. I guess if I had it all to do again, I'd probably make this ending half a little bit more crazy, but it's too early. It's too early to do anything that crazy, and we definitely do a lot of crazy stuff later on. So, here goes. Alright, so a slight skip ahead, and bring it on, you bastards! All you hell spawn imp. Oh my god, head flew off. Damn, it's amazing. I love the deaths. Hit a little bit over the top, but it's fucking awesome. Okay, so I kind of know what's going on, but as a rule of thumb, when it comes to anything to do with Doom, when you see a giant wall coming down, switch to the rocket launcher and just get it over with. Good God! I can't even see it. Oh, what was up there? It's explosions. It's just there's an explosion up there shooting at me. I think there's literally an explosion shooting at me. You're not supposed to make an enemy just an explosion. That's just what the hell is going? Oh my God, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna burn to death. I know it's ambiguous. I know. My God. Oh Jesus, I'm catching fire. I'm catching fire. Okay, all right. Okay. Regroup for a second. Regroup. All right. Fuck you. All right. Okay. Wow, this place is fucked up. That was a pretty crazy battle. So I'm right here, and over here is a standard exit switch room. One of the things that's being reinforced all the time, actually, if you pay attention to a lot of the stuff that's going on in No Rest for the Living so far, is just constant reinforcement of the same exact things. Making sure that the player always knows what's going on with the switches, making sure that the player never gets too lost, that there's always a feeling of progression. You know, we're just reinforcing all these same things. But one of the things that I wanted to reinforce the most was making sure that we brought back the old-fashioned Doom 1 style exit doors with exit rooms. And an imp, of course. However, breaking with tradition, there are some weird things that's going. What the hell does that look like? Okay. Wow, that. So, alright, I gotta. Yeah, that's oddly satisfying. Yeah. So Doom brings some pretty weird things to the table. These weird new guns, one-shot guns. It's an interesting gameplay mechanic, actually, I have to admit. And here's Revenant rockets. I got these in the last level on the Earth base. Alright, so let's see me in the map. Here goes. Yawned. Wonder what I missed. Okay, so during our experience, we've learned some valuable life lessons, such as giant walls mean stuff like this. If the giant wall moves down, then stuff like this will come after you. And we also know that sometimes it's hard to get the player to look in the right direction when you want to make sure that when you flip the switch. Sometimes it's a good idea to put a secret in obvious sight. People won't always see it, some will. You want to reward the people who do. We learned that it's very difficult sometimes to get people to see keys, but it's also extremely important to make sure that the player doesn't get lost and it has a feeling of progression, a goal. We've also learned that it's important to make sure that the player always sees the secret. You wanna tease the player with cool secrets. You wanna sprinkle secrets around. This is an art that's long lost on the first-person shooter. I mean, it's not completely dead. Some games are still pretty good about it, but for the most part, it's something that was pretty standard fare back in the days of Doom, and is a lot more rare these days. Make those secrets easy to see. I want to know that there is one. I don't want to just have a wall where I have to constantly hump every wall on the entire map in order to find everything. Give me something to think about in order to find it. And if you could do it in Doom, you could definitely do it in every other game. You should be able to do it in all of the most modern first-person shooters. There should always be something like that. Well, anyway, to stop myself from being so damn preachy right now,